Welcome back everyone. This is my new video on CSS. I hope you are waiting for that. I'm so sorry that it is delayed because actually we were developing our official YouTube channel homepage. So many developers came to me and they asked to take a part in my YouTube channel and also I gave them a part in my YouTube channel. So that was really amazing, and we were working together and we made a lot of programming and coding and made our official homepage. And also there is a mistake in our homepage that if we change the orientation of the device, like if you go to mobile, it is not showing the certain alignment which we want. So even we used bootstrap and the table of forms, it's not working. So please help me to fix this and let me know if you know this in the comment section. So let's start with our CSS styling website. So this is part 2 of web development. I'm so excited to teach you about this. So in this module, we'll be learning about to style a website and bring it to the 21st century. Let me put on some examples that you can learn how to code and style our website. Editing needs to come from your heart so that it can be beautiful. If you see the pic on your current slide or your current part of the video, you can see that it's beautifully designed. Actually, this pic is not created by me, it is borrowed. This pic was drawn or animated, whatever it is. It is so beautiful, and you can see the translucent pictures, opaque pictures, transparent pictures, where the white color is there and where the blue color is in semicircle shape, but it is not fully in the semicircle shape. Part of it, an arc is there, and the mouse, the laptop, the code, the HTML, the CSS I teach, everything is there on the screen. I borrowed this from the web. So first we'll learn how to edit our website, and then we'll jump into the CSS code and I'll teach you everything there. So first let me put up on some examples so that you can have a clear idea on that. So let's head to some websites and learn about them. Okay. So this is Sean Halpin's website, a very professional web designer, and he edits a website like he is in 30th century. Imagine the count I've taken because he's super cool in editing. And if you want to take a look in this website, I'll just provide the link in the description so you can just take a brief look on this website and build on this website if you want. So let's scroll down and see what he have created. So first he said, I am Sean, a back-end developer. So even I wanted to teach you about a back-end developer and a front-end developer. I'll just bring up on a slide and show you all the diagrams and pictorial representation on that. So he even created a nav bar, but it doesn't show you three sleeping lines, but it's a nav bar. If you scroll down, you can see that's a nav bar, kind of nav bar, but not an actual nav bar. I think so. So he took a picture and the font and a paragraph in between the website, and these clouds aren't pictures, but they're transitions. He mentioned that they're transitions because if you click on an image, you can save that image here, but it's not a image. I've tried to save that and provide in my website, but it did not come actually. This is a picture, and if you scroll down, he's saying, hi, I'm a web designer or developer based in Toronto, Canada. I have a passion for web design and love to create for web and mobile devices. So he is from Canada. And what I can do, design what you want, like Photoshop. He is master in Photoshop, I think, because he's created everything we want, and we can take this website as our inspiration, build on that and develop what you need. He's a good developer, I think. So even he mentioned that here, I'm a developer, so I know how to create your website to run across devices using the latest technologies available. Great. Actually, there is not the 2020 website released of Sean, but this is an older one. If you go to your Google or Microsoft Edge or Safari and search for Sean Halpin website, you will get the latest version of 2020 website of Sean Halpin. This is the older one I retrieved from GitHub resources. See, you can also see the greatness of GitHub, where we can just retrieve the older websites or the starter websites what they created, and we can learn that, and we can even code similarly to that. I said similarly, but not exactly. Both are different, okay? So let's even create a similar website to Sean Halpin, and even I'll teach you everything how to create that. But I'm sorry to say this, CSS video is divided into 2 or 3 parts. I don't know, but mostly two. And also, you won't be creating this nav bar because that is part of Bootstrap, and Bootstrap will be taught you after JavaScript because Bootstrap involves so many concepts, behaviors also. Even Bootstrap is CSS, a bunch of CSS, including JavaScript, that gives behavior to website. So meet you in the a slide of pictorial presentation where I can explain you a back-end developer and a front-end developer. Okay, I hope this video is not boring. Please watch it until the end and make a similar website to the Sean Halpin, and we can even show off that website with our friends. Okay, so first let's know about a back-end and a front-end developer. Here I am with the pictorial representation of front-end developer and a back-end developer. So first let's learn about the back-end developer, because the desktop is turned on right here, but the desktop is unfortunately turned off. But don't worry, even I'll be teaching about front-end developer also. First, the back-end developer. If you know about the servers, first let's learn about the servers and the information we receive from the servers to download the files we require or to visit the websites, and also to watch the videos in the YouTube, the amazing videos or movies from Prime, Netflix, so on. So first, servers plays a major role in whatever information you want. Servers are not like big boxes with some mechanical stuff. No, you're wrong if you're considering it like that. So even servers are kind of computers, but they are supercomputers. So like you are receiving information from that computer, so that's why it is called a server. And server gives you information to your computer, and whatever your computer receives, it receives from the main server or supercomputers that a company provides. Like Google provides its own supercomputers, and it's really confidential to go in there. So first, what are backend developers do, and what is the use of backend developing? Backend developing refers to server. They work on the code developing, and they develop the code we write, and they also work on this coding. You can see that picture over here. So let's bring on front end developer. So what we are doing is front end developing. So we can call ourselves as front end developer. And let's turn on my computer. Please, computer, turn on. Yeah. Okay, so my computer have turned on, and this is what my computer Google page looks like. So developing the Google page, bringing the font into middle, and YouTube links are there, GitHub link is there, my Prime link is there, Hotstar, my classroom link is there, everything is there in there. So developing this kind where the viewers can see the presentation or the outlook of the website is called front end developing, and where you can see the code and all that is called as back end developing. But don't worry, you will be learning about front end and back end soon, but I can't confirm you that. Okay, next we'll move to what we'll say. Okay, so I think this is it. So next we'll move to CSS coding, and first let's learn about inline, internal and external CSS. Also, before that, let's learn some topics or let's jump to that. Okay. Yeah. Next, I thought we can learn about CSS. So that is important before heading to CSS coding. So CSS is also known as cascading style sheets. You can learn more about this in special edition video. That's not only the introduction I gave, but it also includes some topic on CSS and HTML. Sadly, I did not include JavaScript there. I forgot. No problem. Anyway, we'll be dealing with JavaScript. First, let's learn about CSS. So I have the basic HTML website of Google, the first website they have created, and the modern Google website which we are using now. What is that website actually? Yeah, that is HTML website. And what is this website? That is a CSS website. Actually, that is a Bootstrap and a JavaScript included website, but even Bootstrap includes CSS, right? So that's why I've kept the name CSS there. And Mr. Box will come and introduce you to some CSS tools where you can use that in your websites too. So he told me I have a specific number of tools right now. I'll show them and you can learn from them. Let's introduce and welcome Mr. Box. So here you are, Mr. Box. You can show my viewers your tools and they can even learn from that. So bring up on your first tool, Mr. Box. Okay, Mr. Box brought up a painter where we'll paint our walls in our real life, but in the website designing, we'll use this tool for painting the background of the website. In the HTML website, you can see some gray blocks over there, but in the modern CSS website, it's painted white with this tool. Great, Mr. Box. You've shown us a nice tool, and bring upon your second tool for us. Yeah, he brought up, oh, it's a garden cleaner tool, right? We will clean our leaves and the branches fallen down in our garden with that. Okay, he's telling us that cleaning the font and putting it the right way and also putting the logos in a specific order and all that. Right, Mr. Box? Bring up on the third tool you have. Oh yeah, he gave us a divider. Actually, it's used in constructions, but we can call it as a divider for our convenience. So he is telling that the space between Google and the logos and all the fonts and the specification of this padding and all that is represented by this divider. You are really amazing, Mr. Box. So please bring up on the next tool so that my viewers can see that. Okay, Mr. Box gave us a font representation. So he's saying that we can change our website font also by CSS. Okay, let's see how it does. And even Mr. Box is telling he have more tools. Let's say bring upon that also. He gave us a dustbin. Unfortunately, it went down. I'm sorry, Mr. Box, but it's okay. Actually, you can see the dustbin is over here, but Mr. Box isn't having that space to show that in our slide. No problem. So he's saying that whatever we have cleaned with our garden stick, you have to throw them into the dustbin and remove them out of your website. That's not a problem. Please excuse Mr. Box for that. So let's see when Mr. Box have some more tools. Okay, Mr. Box. Okay. He's saying that he doesn't have any more tools. For that, it's enough. And let's move to the another concept. And after that, we'll go to the coding concept. Right? Okay, Mr. Box. Bye-bye. Yeah, here we are at the new software we'll be using for our coding, and we'll also use Visual Studio Code for Python development also, because In our Discord server, I've conducted a poll and they gave me the results for using Visual Studio Code, and that runs amazing also. Let me tell you some major advantages of Visual Studio Code and how to use it. First thing, we are using Jupyter Notebook and normal Python code for our development of Python, but Visual Studio gives them in a double kind of offer, and it also gave us more than one plus one offer. So it gives us Jupyter Notebook plus the normal software like PyCharm editors we use. It does gives us both of them, and it even gives the Python console development for download, and even you can download many of them from extensions. So you can click on the extensions in your nav bar, so it will show you a watermark for extensions. I don't remember, I think this is the extension one. So click on that and it will show you the extensions, and you can install them by clicking this install button. I'll give you the download link and the download page for Visual Studio Code, and you can download that from there. Even we'll be working on Jupyter Notebook from Visual Studio Code only. That's not a big deal. It will be similar to Jupyter Notebook we use, but I am saying that please don't delete Anaconda software because it gives us many pip installed packages ready made, and it also gives us many tools for editing in Python easily. So please don't delete that because that's a launcher for Python, but we'll be just coding in Visual Studio Code and developing that with the Anaconda packages side by side. So you can see the Anaconda packages running, but they'll be running. So coming to the web development, even we'll be using Visual Studio Code. Please delete your Atom text editor or keep it like that. But Visual Studio Code is the best, even I suggest, because the Visual Studio Code even gives you the files into that similar to Atom but more advantages, and even the style and all that. And even Visual Studio Code is powered by Microsoft, which is the best company I ever saw. uh, I know, but Apple is the first, or Microsoft is the first, or Google is the first. I can't decide. But even Microsoft is best for all these software ratings. Okay, keeping all this aside, so from now we'll be using Visual Studio Code. The link will be given in the description. Okay, here we are, the Visual Studio Code. I wanted to give you a uh, mean like introduction kind of. So if you click on that, you'll get extensions. Night owl is the uh, color of this. You can change the color of that. And Python I've installed, and you can also search for more like Jupyter, where you can develop it in the Visual Studio Code itself. Python is here. Let's see if Jupyter Notebook will come. Yeah, Jupyter Notebook VS Code. You can install that. Otherwise, just save your file with the extension named .ipynb. That runs the kernel and connects to internet server and gives you a Jupyter Notebook. If you want, just try drag an empty folder to this and create a file. You can see that option over here, but I have the extensions right now. If you go here, yeah, open a folder or drag a folder, you can see a create a file option over here. Just click that and write your file name, and the extension must be .ipynb. Just wait for 5 seconds and then you'll get your Jupyter Notebook. For web development, just let's bring upon our folder over here. So I'm going to my desktop, my web development folder, and dragging my index over here. So it's as simple as that. You got your index.html code here. It works even more stylish, and the pigmentation we have over here requires no packages. It's pre-installed. So first let's start with all this. Before starting, just this is a tour of Visual Studio Code, right? So this take a brief tour of that. This is the code we have coded before in the Atom text editor, but I think this is more awesome. Okay, now let's meet at the three differences of internal CSS, inline CSS, and external CSS. Okay, so I'm ending this presentation over here. Let's meet at a pictorial representation and let's know about all that three. So now here we are with the tabular form. First, let's learn about inline CSS and internal CSS and external CSS. So inline CSS gives you the code or the style you want only for the particular line or the division or the class you've mentioned. Like if you have a body tag and for all the body you have should be the style and the background color of that body should be some hexadecimal code where you can gather that color from a server. So it will be only for a line and it is also internal. I mean it is inside the HTML code. That is what means internal. Heading to the internal CSS, I've told you internal CSS what that is. Let me repeat that again. Internal CSS lies within the HTML code. CSS will be in HTML code. That is what internal CSS means. So we can represent that internal CSS under the head tag and closing tag will be coming over here, but I did not mention that. So internal CSS can be written below of the head tag wherever you want, after the links or before the links. It will be having that internal CSS only for that page. See, if you create some links to other page, like clicking on contact us will head to some other HTML file, it doesn't give you this style for that page. I hope you are not clear. Let me bring up on painting over here. Let's say you have a HTML file over here and this is the code for that HTML file you've written. Okay, this is the code and here is a contact us button where it heads you to another page of HTML you've created. What it will do is, so if you mention this internal CSS what is there in this coding sheet under the head tag, the CSS you've mentioned will be only for this page. This page will not be having the CSS you've mentioned for this page. Okay, I hope it is clear. It will be only for the page you've mentioned under the head tag. Again, for this page some other code will be there, some other file will be there, and in that, inside the head you can mention the CSS file. So it's a double task. For this page CSS, for this page a CSS. So to reduce that work, they've even mentioned and invented the other one, that is external CSS. What that says means, let me erase that so that the line does not disturb my heading. So what this external CSS does is, if you have a page, a main page, and contact us, head to another website, wikipedia.com, all the links is there over here. So if you click on the link, it will head to another HTML coded file over here. I said you before, this both will not be having same CSS styles if you use internal CSS format, but external CSS format is not like that. See, external CSS format is nothing but these both will be in the extension of HTML, right? These both will be extension of HTML. But external CSS is another file that will be in the extension of CSS. Better to mention styles every time, like you mention index every time in the HTML file. So this CSS styles code file, whatever you have, will provide the style, everything you've written for both of the pages. So that is external CSS advantage. And just you have to write a link over here and the relation will be style sheet, and the href will come, and you have to copy the path of the css file and mention it under here in your coding file, not in your website, in your coding file. Okay, so this is the major difference between inline css, internal css, and external css. Inline css code equal to internal css. Like, see, inline css is nothing but internal css, but writing in a line is called inline css. But all the inline css codes are equal to internal css, but all the internal css code need not be equal to inline css. Okay, actually you will listen this kind of words in mpc subjects, but even you will listen these words in coding also, but they are very very simple. Okay, next, let's code our previous website and make a changes in it. And after that, I'll show you what to do. Okay. So let's head to Visual Studio Code and code something over there. So first, let's start with inline CSS. Already I have written a code over here, style, background color, because I don't want to lose this color. Even you can do that. First, there are two things to remember over here. Executing your code is important, and testing the code every single time you make a major change is very, very important. So first, I have created a style and a background color for that. Let's head to Microsoft Edge or Chrome browser, whatever you use, and let's test this code over there. Copy the path and then head to your browser. Just paste the path over here and then click the enter button. So you are getting that background color. First, whatever the book you see, same dialogue, right? Whatever the book you see, the color of the page will be green, black, blue, red, yellow, orange, everything. So even we've created a color for our web page, a different color. If you want more colors for your web page, go to color hunt and take the templates which were designed by professionals. So these are professional website, I mean personal website, where it can take even responses, reset button, submit button, everything is okay over here. Let's now change the lines. If you zoom in, let me bring up the magnifier and take a tour of the horizontal rows, because they are very very important to code. Yeah, we let's zoom in more and more and more. So if you zoom in, you can see there are two lines over here. You can see there are two lines over here, and that's divided everywhere similarly. So what we did in the previous video was to create a no shade. Now please remove all the no shades you've mentioned in your code, because it will disturb when you are creating a CSS. Now we'll use internal CSS concept, and we'll create the horizontal line which we want, and the line will be similar to Sean website. First, let's bring this to the normal size of the screen, and now let's go to Sean website. In this website, he created a horizontal rows as a dotted style. It's amazing, and the color is also taken from the color hunt itself, but that's translucent, right? Yeah, it's not that clear, but it's okay. We'll make it more absolute and stylish over in our website. So first, let's do Visual Studio Code and target the horizontal row. What I'll do is, so just copy the background color so that I don't want to lose my color. Control C and backspace that, and even you have to create this style tag over here. Now hit your head tag, create a style over there. Yeah, create a style, enter. And now what will target? The body. The bodies are target body, and the flower brackets are used. For now, let's keep that background color over here. Let's save that. And now let's go to a Chrome browser, refresh the page. It's similar and same. Now I think it's working. So what we use now is called internal CSS. I think throughout the course, using internal CSS is more beneficial when it comes to publishing your code in GitHub repository, because entire code will be in a single file called index.html. But what professional use does is they will write 200 pages, 100 pages, or some pages of code, and they can't even include the CSS file over here. That's why they'll create another CSS file which will be also of 100 lines and 200 lines, okay, or 100 pages or 200 pages, whatever it may be. Next we'll do is a horizontal row, the target, and create a flower brackets over there. First, let's learn about the width and then move on to the next one. Before doing that also, let's head to MDN docs of HR MDN. So MDN developer docs, the thematic break horizontal row. Yeah, horizontal row will be like that. That's great. So we have align, color, no shade, size, and width. So this is the specifications of that. Let's get this one. And also, yeah, I think this is it for that. But don't worry, we have more over here. I think so. Nope, we don't have. Okay, first let's head to our website. Let's try to fix the width of this to his website over here, Sean Halpin's. So Sean Halpin made a width of even not 5%. Let's see if we can do that in our website also. So let's type width of that, and you can type in centimeters, percentage, inches, EM, EX, FR, inches, or millimeters. There are so many measures you can take over here, but I'll take as 8%. Save that file and go to your browser. Everywhere it's similar, but it need to be more smaller for similar looking of Sean's website. Let's make it to 5% and refresh our page. It's similar to Sean's website and everything is aligned in a line. Nowhere there's a gaps. I think we've achieved it. Nope, we did not achieve that because he kept our dotted one and we did not keep that. It's just a line. Next we'll go to the style of HR MDN developer docs. um okay, let's search for border styles. Border style HR MDN docs. Okay, yeah, I needed that, and they gave me that. So border style none will be like that. Border style dotted will be like that. Inset will be like that. Dashed solid will be like that. Dashed double will be like this. And border style dashed groove none dotted. The four sides are mentioned over here. Great. The first was this gave this one, the upper one. Second groove gave the other slide, I think. The none gave this slide, the dotted gave this slide. Great. He mentioned four borders, and that output was even for the four borders. Okay, we want this dotted one. So first let's see if this dotted one works. Let's copy that and paste that in our website. I mean Visual Studio Code. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, that was our Discord server. Let's head to personal website. Yeah, the dots came, but let me use magnifier to show you that more clearly. See, the dots came, but that doesn't give us similar to what we've seen in Sean Halpin's website. Where is that? Where is that? Yeah. See, there are only dots in the website, but we have a border for that. So what we'll do is just head to our personal website, see our line. Let's zoom out that. Yeah, Sean Halpin's website. So in that we've learned that four words gives you the meaning of four borders over here. What we'll do is we'll just mention one thing. I mean one what we'll say one vertex like one line. I'm not getting that word, but that's not a problem. Border style is dotted, and the remaining one will be none, none, and none. Yeah, let's save that. Head to our website, refresh the website. Yep, I think we've succeeded in getting that. Yeah, we've got dotted ones. Clearly, you can see here we've got dotted ones. Yeah, we've did it. We've got the dotted ones. I don't know why my cursor is loading, but that's not a problem. Okay, we've got dotted ones, but that doesn't look even similar because the okay, the size of the dots are huge compared to ours. Let's make that even more bigger. So for that, let's use more one. Uh, let's read this paragraph. When one value is specified, it applies same style to all four sides. When two values are specified, the first style applies to top and bottom, the second to the left and right. When three values are specified, the first applies to the top, the second applies to the left and right, and third to the bottom. Here we are with the different ones. Initial value will be like that, none or whatever you want. Even they give more over here. First of all, we want to check the border width is what we want. Let's copy that and paste that in our code also. So here, let's refresh the page. Yeah, the dots are squared. We have to do something for that. For that, let's clear out this magnifier and the border style will be none. Backspace. The border style will be none and the border top style. Border top. Wait a second. Let's head to MDN developer docs again. And here what they gave us is the top and the bottom ones, right? Border style is none and the border style dotted solid. They gave that somewhere over here. Yeah, border top style. Let's do that here also. Border top style. Border top style will be the dotted one. Let's save that. Head to our browser, refresh our page. Still, it's a squared one. I don't know why. Dotted, right? We've mentioned. Border style is set to 9 and it is also coming squares over here. Let's see what the mistake we've done. I'll be back with the mistake. I'm so sorry because I don't know even what's the mistake. Okay. In the previous one, I don't know what was the mistake. I even took a cut and searched for 10 minutes in here and there, but I did not know what's the mistake. So, first, what I'll do is I'll just open my folder and 1 second. Yeah, I have just opened my folder and then desktop web development. Just create a new folder over here. YouTube personal site and enter that, and in that I'll just head that. So here is my css file. Even I'll create a new file for, I mean HTML file. Here I'll create a new file for css, new folder, and in that css, yeah, there is no file. That's great. Now I'll just drag that over here so that it brings all the files what I want. YouTube personal site index.html is here, but in CSS we don't have anything. Let's add a file over here. Let's say styles.css, enter. I think now this CSS file has been created. It takes a time, yeah. Now let's go to my index.html site. The code, just delete all that. Okay, I need my background color to be that because I don't want to lose that. Now go to your styles.css, paste that. Even I've mentioned a border color for that. Let's change it later. Save that CSS file. Now copy the path of CSS file and just note a link over here and the title one. Just type link, you will get everything. Just type the paste the href. I did not say more about link in before chapter, but link is also part of HTML only. Just save that. I think it will work. If not, okay, we've opened the wrong path of the file. Let's again copy the file path, copy path, and then go to your browser, paste the path over here. Yeah, now we got dotted lines. I think we have to use the external CSS code for the dotted lines. Just go to the color hunt, search for gray one. I'll search for gray one and yeah, so I'll just select this color, go to my code and place the hexadecimal code over here. I hope that is exactly like Sean Halpin's website. Let's go to our website, refresh our page. It's loading, but I don't know what's the problem. I think it's white. Yep, it is white color. F6, FY is white in color. Let's select another color from our browser. Yeah, let's say E. Backspace that. Okay, even this is of white color. The browser's fault, that is not my fault. Let's choose this color. See, making the choices of color is very difficult, but I even hope if you find the right color, that's great. Yeah, we are getting the same as the Sean's one, but this will be out of our first division. I think this is it for this module. I mean, not the end of this module, but uh, unfortunately, we have to delete this file and then create a new file and start everything in that, so that we'll learn that even more easier. Editing in this file is very harder, I mean very tough, and it's also harder. So let's create a new file, and in there let's create a new website like this, Sean Halpins. So first go to your Visual Studio Code, delete all the files over here. But I will give you an advantage. Just select the body color and go to your CSS file. Okay. Paste that body over there. Save that, and in the HTML file, just delete all this style. Save this file. Go to your browser. Refresh. It's same as the previous one. So keeping an external CSS gives you this dotted lines, or it doesn't give you, I don't know, but that did not work. So what to do, I don't know. Styles.css working in that was correct, and it worked also. I can sadly say that we have to delete all this file and create a new index.html file. Okay, just delete the content in the index.html file before we have created. Just delete that and save that file, and now go to your browser, refresh. So it is the same. We even don't have any horizontal rows over here, but in the Sean Halpin's website we can see a icon over here with no background in the color hunt also, and in MD and developer docs also, but we don't have anything like that. So even we'll keep something similar to that. So let's go to some website, copy image link, and now let's go to Visual Studio Code. Just type the link, and the relation will be not style sheet, but it will be icon. We can also say it as a favicon, where we'll keep it in the top of the website like that. Href will be this, and save that file. Let's head to our browser, refresh the file. Even I got that boy symbol over here. That's great. Even okay, my battery is running low. Yeah, no problem. So even I got a boy picture over there, and MD and Developer Dogs got a tiger. Sean Halpin got a boy in Minecraft edition. Color Hunt even got a face, and Dot got a hexagon inside a D. No problem. We've got a favicon to our website. So the next thing we'll do is to write a font in the center and color it, and also specify the text of the font, and even we'll write over this over here. And after that, let's head to images and all that. Okay, for images we have to learn about the spacing and padding. So let's head to the next module. Okay, now we can say that the video has came to an end, and before ending this video we've just edited our favicon, and also let's edit some more things in our video, in our website. Yeah, I've just typed my heading and a paragraph tag under that. Now what I'll do is just I'll give a little bit of padding over here. So for that I'll say text align of the text will be in the center, and save that, and go to website, refresh your website. So Manikanta, a friend and developer, came in the middle of our page. So we've just learned the padding a bit. Now the major segment comes here. First let's color out the paragraph tag and h1 tag. Let's go to colors. Now I'll select green in order to color them. um, in green, this color palette is great for editing. Let's select that, and let's now target H1 tag and flower brackets. Now the color of H1 tag will be with the hashtag of hexadecimal code, and save that and go to your website, um, our personal website, refresh that. Yep, I think and I hope the color has been changed, but that doesn't make sense. Like Sean, and I have to say that I am Sean is not a H1 tag. It is a picture he've created, but we don't bother about all those. Now let's take a green thing. I hope this works. Save that and go to our browser, our personal website. I think that that works well compared to Sean, but I think that doesn't. Let's take some more kind of green color thing so that looks some mild mild green. Searching in front of you is kind of boring, I understand, but please bear with me. Even some more concept is heading up. I said you in the starting, choosing colors is very difficult. If you got your color in the starting, that's amazing. Now that's a light green. That's a light green. That's a light green. I need a dark green with a mild color. Dark green with a mild color. Let's hope this works. Save that. Head to our browser. Yep, I think that works for our website. And even let's change the font of this front end developer to a darker one, like Sean's. I'll better take this font for paragraph thing. And for the paragraph, and just um, p tag. For that, the color will be yeah, the color will be with the hashtag hexadecimal code. Just save that. Hit our browser, refresh. Yep, I think that works perfectly. But now the remaining one is the font one. So let's head to Google Fonts. Google Fonts, yeah, Google Fonts. And in Google Fonts, for the paragraph, we'll take Ubuntu font. That's great because Ubuntu gives you a really classy font where everyone will like that. Let's select light 300. Italic won't be good. Select that style. It will be here. Embed in the CSS. It will be here. And before heading forward, let's say Sacramento for our heading. Sacramento, right? Yeah, Sacramento for our heading. Let's select this style also. So now we've got a link for those two styles, and font family is also specified. CSS rules to specify. First, copy the link and head to your Visual Studio Code index.html. Paste the link over here. Save the file. Now you go to your styles. For H1, what you've mentioned, and we want the font also mentioned over there. So just select Sacramento for H1. First, let's test and head to the next one. Okay. Yeah, Manikanta, that works, but the color is really not that good. Now let's copy this color for the heading. and the next color for that space. Save that browser. I hope that works or that doesn't. I think this is the last color I will choose. Okay, please forgive me on that because the color choosing is very very different and difficult also. Yep, that works for me. And front end developer color is also good. So for front end developer color, let's choose font family for that also. For the font family, let's go to that and select this Ubuntu font. Yeah, save that and now head to your browser, refresh the file, and Ubuntu font came over there. Think of one thing. Why did I uh, told you that copy the link, and that is very very important because the server of the Google provides you the font from this link, and the font you have to mention the family of the font for specific classes to specify in the CSS file. So there are two fonts we've took from the Google Fonts, and the link will be given over here. Copy the link and paste it in your head tag, and when your HTML code come across the head tag, it will automatically execute that and provide you the font you want for your website. And that's it for this video. Please stay, I mean, please hang in there because the next video is surely coming soon, and I'll release it in 2 or 3 days from now because we have to complete this website very quickly. Before ending this video, there are some grammatical CSS concepts I have to talk about, and even you can develop your own website from my example website also, or you can copy that, or you can take the concept and develop on that. So for the concept, let's learn about the concept we used in the HTML, I mean the CSS file. What is this and what is all mentioned in the flower brackets? Let's learn all that also in the pictorial representation or the paragraph representation in a slide. Okay. So for saying this is the end of the coding, now let's learn some grammatical part and the anatomy of CSS also. After completion of this grammar topic, we'll end our video. Don't worry that he's ending the video after telling such simple topics. They are not at all simple. They are very complex. If I include all of the CSS topic in this video, you'll definitely confuse. Definitely. Please don't excite for the professionalistic website where you'll be going to create in the next video. Don't worry, I'll be taking you step by step. So first let's complete the anatomy of the CSS. I'll take a pen. So in the previous code, we've coded the CSS of like we've took the h1 tag. After targeting h1 tag, we've just included the flower brackets like that, and we've just clicked enter over here, and the flower brackets came over here, and here we got a space to write our code. We wrote background color, and we wrote the text or the font size we can write, the width of the font size we can write, everything we wrote like that. I mean we can write like that. Let me erase all that. Now what I'm trying to say is the h1 what we wrote, that is called selector. So who, that is also called as who. So in the code we have many tags like h1, br, and br means breaking of line, hr we have, h2 we have, until h6 we have, and we also have the paragraph tag. In all of these characteristics, first we have to select who, the target. So we selected h1. After selection of who, Let's say what the property need to be there, like background color, size, border style, width, or padding top, padding bottom. All you learn uh, eventually, but I'm just saying the examples. Property what, so we have to edit that by css, right? So what we have to edit, either the color, the padding, the font size, or the font color, or the font type, or anything that is called as property. And the value, you know what is meant by value. if it's padding if it's padding and giving spaces in website, you have to just mention percentage, rem, millimeters, inches. So many are there for values, and that is also called as how. So who, what, and how is it triangular representation of CSS anatomy. Like you can just represent a triangle for CSS anatomy. Okay. So CSS anatomy is represented as triangle for values who, what, and how. So that is anatomy of CSS, and that is also known as structure and grammar if we say in the simple languages. I hope you've cleared your doubts with anatomy of CSS, and let me erase all of that and just take a recap of all that we've talked. So first, selector, we have to target one person, and the property of what we have to do for the person and the value of that. Okay. Next, we'll move to the next slide. So in the next slide, let's learn about class. So in this slide, we'll be learning about class. So class and okay, there are two types, class and IDs. I did not mention over here, but the next slide will be IDs. So class and IDs are there. First, in this slide, let's learn about class. We are having many divisions. Let's say we are having, you don't know about what is division? No problem. So we know about image and HR. What if I have one image over here and another image tag over here? But if we target the image tag in the CSS, let's say this is the CSS file over here. Let's draw the file for clear understanding. So I want to edit this image. I think this, let's imagine there is a circular logo that, let's say there is a website. This is a circular logo image and this is a rectangular image. Okay. So I need the circular logo image in my website to be here, and my square logo image need to be over here. Okay. So both are the tags of image, but I need to separate them, like give the padding for them with the CSS. If I target image, and give it like a padding of top and a bottom and a left and a right, what the image of this will follow, even this will follow the same. But I don't want to do that. I just want to mention different things for different images. Okay. For that, the class tag is very essential. Class can be on your own. Like, so for this image, let's say our class is circular logo. Okay. For this circular logo, and for this image, the class will be rectangular logo. So just remove this image. Let me erase that. Okay. Yeah. So for targeting the class in the CSS, just use a dot over, full stop over here, and just write the class over here. Okay. So let's say that is circular logo, and represent flower brackets opening and closing tags. And you can write your code over here for this circular logo image padding, and mention a full stop over here and write that class name and mention the flower brackets opening and closing over here, and write the padding and the value for that over here. So we've just differentiated this image. The tags are same, but the classes of them are different. Okay. So this is the major advantage of class where we can use in HTML code. Next, let's learn about ID. So only the preference is given to the class where you can write or differentiate between same tags with different classes to target them on CSS. You must use a full stop and write your class in the CSS file, otherwise it won't work. Okay, let's move to the next one. So here I have ID. ID is nothing but let's take in real life situation. Say you have your ID card, your school ID card, and your school is giving you a number. Like even if my school name is ABC, so you'll get your number from your school like ABC 12345. So that, let's say that is your admission number, ABC 12345. So that won't be same for another student because the admission numbers of students will be different. They'll be unique. None of them will be repeating, right? So even the same follows in the ID tag also. So only one ID tag can be there for a page. One ID tag means you have to, not that like you have to give only one ID tag. No, the name need to be unique over entire page. Okay, if you go to the other page, the name can be repeated, but in the same page the name should be unique. So if I take one over here and if I also take one over here, that won't work. So I have to take 0 or 2 over here to mention the ID of that image. Okay, so on the HR I can take 3 or HR, anything. The ID must be unique. So that is the difference between class and the ID. And instead of class, we can just write ID over here. That's it. So that is class and that is ID. So for the next modules that are coming up, for the padding of images or the font or the color or the background color, anything, we'll just mention class or ID. Mostly we'll be mentioning class only because ID will be difficult. So ID is nothing but, suppose let's say if you have a website over here and you have a nav bar for it. For the entire website, for any website you take, there will be only one navigation bar for the website, right? So there won't be two for that website. Two navigation bars won't be there for that website. So for that you can use an ID called a nav bar. A nav bar is a unique one entire the website. Okay, so for that you can use an ID. And for image, I mean for the images padding, for the font padding, font means like a h1 and a paragraph, those for that you can use classes for simpler this one. Okay, so that is the concept. And I will end my first CSS part 1 video over here. And in the next one, in the next module, I hope we'll definitely cover everything. And in the next module, we'll be learning about spacing between elements and images spacing, divisions, and everything. So division is important in the upcoming module also. Division and indentation, or you can say it as space. Okay, it's space P. Okay. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching the entire video. I hope you watched the entire video. If not, please watch the entire video because there are some important topics mentioned in the code as well as like this pictorial representations also. So that's it. I hope the video got completed. I'll meet you in the part 2.1 video where we'll be completing our website. Okay. Bye bye.